All right. Now, after you have logged into your cPanel, we need to start other things that we need to do in order to make the website okay. So the next thing we are going to be talking about is how to create subdomain, so that those of you that make payment for alternative account will be able to create your subdomain that you are going to use for the practical. Now, how can you create your subdomain? I told you that everything you are going to do, they are from your cPanel. So what you need to do is to come to your cPanel, and for those that bought the package also from somewhere else, you need subdomain for other reasons. How do you create it? This is how to create subdomain. Once you log into your cPanel, for easy access, come to where you see this search button. You need to click on that search button and type subdomain. You can see it here. Click on it. Click on that subdomain. So it will load. So it will take us to this place. Now, from here, you just need to type the name you want to use for your subdomain. When you register a domain, when you have an account that you purchase a domain, this will be your primary domain. Your primary domain will look like this. Don't forget that I've already explained to you how subdomain look like. This is a sample of subdomain. You can see this is a sample of subdomain. This is a sample of another subdomain here. So they are different from this one that you are seeing inside this box. Are you getting it now? So both of them are different. So how do you create that subdomain? A subdomain is a subsection of your website that can exist as a new website without a new domain name. Use subdomain to create memorable URL for different content area of your site. Now, you need to come to where you see subdomain. Type the name you want to use as a subdomain. For example, if you want to have, let's assume that the name of your company is Teju and Son Nigeria Limited.com. That is the name of your company website, and you want to have like a section that will be managed by other features, that we have other details. So sorry for the interference. You want to have other sections that will be totally different from your main site. That's why you need something. So you need to make use of the name you want to use for easy access. Like, let's assume you want to have store, or you want to have like medical, or like any other department like that. Are you getting it? So those are the reason why you need subdomain. So you need to have that, you need to use that name so that people that are going to that website will know that, okay, we are going to the medical department. So every information you are going to see will be medical. Same thing, this account you are seeing, speedhost.net.ng, is a bulk account for students under our training. Under our training. So everybody will have to register subdomain. That is those that make payment for alternative package. So they will need a subdomain that will link them to this particular site. That is why you need to create subdomain here. But the reason why you need subdomain in your website, I've already explained that in the theory aspect. Go back to the theory and check. Now come here and type the name you want to use. Like for me, let me say I will use coach. Coach. That is what you need to type. Don't type .com or .ng. You don't need it. You don't need it. Just type the word alone. You want to use Coach Adebola or Coach Ayonfe, anything. If you want to use, like, you want to use Avante Store. So any name you want to use, you need to type it here. So let me use Coach. So don't worry. Automatically the system will integrate that coach into the speedhost.net.ng for you. So once you type the name you want to use, you just come here and click on anywhere. Just click on anywhere. You can see that when you check this public directory, you will see coach. So automatically my file will be saved inside this coach under public HTML. Don't forget that we have talked about public HTML. That is where your information are stored. Everything that people see on the internet, whatever you are doing is stored under public HTML. If information is not under public HTML, people will not see it. But because you now have a subdomain account, the system will create another folder for you to store your information, because you have split the account. Those that are into computer, you know what we call uh hard disk partition. So if you partition an hard disk, it means that you want to separate some space from that hard disk, so that you will have like 2 to 3 different segments, 2 to 3 different folder space rather in one hard disk. So if one should corrupt, others will still be working. That is how subdomain is all about. Are you getting it? It's like when you rent a house, you now decided to separate part of that house. You decided to divide it. You have 2 parts. So you cannot be at the you cannot be in 2 places at the same time. You have to be in one place. So that you have partitioned it means that you have separate some information to be in the other side. So if people did not log into that place, they will not be able to see it. But if you don't partition that room, if you don't divide that room, people can easily see all the information in one place. So that is what subdomain is all about. So once you have clicked on it like that, you have typed the name you want to use for your subdomain. Under this domain, because we have only one domain here, you don't need to do anything, just leave it like that. But if you have multiple domain on a particular site, there's one thing we call add-on domain. When you are buying hosting, you should check it also. Some package we have add-on domain. That add-on domain allow you to add more than one domain into hosting system into the package you are purchasing. But some you can only add only one website. That is when you will see them telling you that you can use the package to create 3 websites, 4 websites, 5 websites. Then you need to add other domain that you register to it. You don't need to purchase hosting then. So now that you have filled it like this, just click on create. But if you don't want the information to store under document root, which is not recommended, which is not advisable. If you want to give it another name, you can give it, but it is advisable that you allow it the way it has created it for you. Then click on create. Your subdomain account will be created for you. Just wait for it to load. You can see that we have nothing here. No subdomain are configured. So once it finished loading, you'll be able to see your subdomain. Then you are good to go. You can now see that you can see what it's giving us, that successfully coach.speedhost.net.ng have been created. So if I should click on this link and open this, if I should open it, it will load it for me. Sorry, if you are the owner of this website, please contact your hosting provider. The reason why I'm saying this is that there are no information on this, but the package has been created. Now, this is what you are going to use to know that it's because there are no information on it. Let me try and go to a name that we don't even have before. Let me try and go to Coach Adeyemi dot, or let me just use Coach. Okay, I want to do something here. Ade. So let's leave it like this and see what it will show. You can see that this site can be reached. This one is different from this one that it's showing us, because we don't have this package, we don't have this account at all. That's why you are seeing error like this, or the account does not exist at all. So that is how to create your subdomain. Once you have created your subdomain, then you are good to go. you are good to go. Just go back. Then we go to how to install other details into our website.